A chef taught me the best potato I've ever eaten in my life. I'll start by cutting 5 potatoes into medium pieces. And before I forget, tell me which city you're watching from so I can send you a big hug. Today's hug goes to Michael Johnson from Austin, Texas. I'm really glad you're enjoying our recipes. Then I'll place everything in a pot, cover with hot water, and let it cook until tender, about 15 minutes. Now, in a pan, I'll add 1 tablespoon of butter, stirring until completely melted. When that happens, I'll add 3 chopped garlic cloves and sauté. Tell me, what's your favorite potato recipe to make? I'd love to know. I'll add half a teaspoon of black pepper, half a teaspoon of oregano, 1 teaspoon of chicken seasoning, 1 cup of heavy cream, and mix everything well. The flavor of this recipe is simply amazing. You won't regret making it, and it's super practical. I'll transfer our cooked potatoes into this pan and mix well with this tasty sauce. For that special touch, I'll add 150 grams of shredded mozzarella. Finally, I'll add 20 grams of grated Parmesan and stir well so the cheese melts and blends into the sauce. At this point, the cheese has melted completely. Now just add some fried bacon pieces on top and also chopped parsley to taste. Mix everything well. The aroma is already perfect. Imagine the taste. Make potatoes like this at home, and then come back to tell me what you thought. I'm sure you and your family will love it.
You probably don't like broccoli because you've never had it like this. I'm starting by chopping up 1 whole broccoli. Small pieces work best. You're seriously gonna fall in love with this way of making it. I explained every step in detail for you. Now I'm transferring everything to another bowl. And hey, when you try this at home, send me a picture. I'd love to see how it turns out. Next, I'm adding 3 eggs. Also, 100 grams of grated Parmesan, half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of black pepper. Mix everything really well until it's all nicely combined. Let me know where you're watching from so I can send you a special shout out. Today's shout out goes to Michael Carter from Austin, Texas. I'm so glad you're enjoying our recipes. After mixing well, it should look like this. Perfect. Now I'm adding some olive oil to a pan, using a brush to spread it out evenly. It's so easy to make. Even if you're not used to cooking, you've got this. With just a few ingredients, you'll see the magic is in the simplicity. Now I'm pouring the whole mixture into the pan. Use a spatula to flatten it out and line it up neatly. The trick is in the ingredient combo. If you get the amounts right, I promise it'll turn out just as perfect. It's perfect for those days when you want something tasty but without the hassle. Cover it up and let it cook for 15 minutes. After that, use a plate to flip it and cook the other side. When you make broccoli recipes at home, what ingredients do you like to add? I'm adding 2 tablespoons of tomato extract. I made this yesterday for my friends, and they loved it. They begged me to show it here for you too. One of the best things about this dish is how quick and simple it is. To make it even better, I'm adding some chopped mozzarella, however much you like. I just love cooking with mozzarella. I also sliced up a tomato to throw on top. And to finish, a bit of oregano sprinkled over. Now I'm covering it again and letting it go for 5 more minutes. And that's it, moving it to a plate. I have to admit, the smell is one of the best parts. When you make this at home, your neighbors are gonna smell it and come running. This is one of those recipes that's perfect when you want something quick and delicious. Easy, simple, and so tasty. Exactly what we all love. Look at that texture. Tell me it doesn't make your mouth water just looking at it. Every ingredient here was chosen for flavor and nutrition. Great for anyone wanting a more balanced meal without giving up on taste. You'll see, you don't need to spend hours in the kitchen to make something amazing like this.
Just one ingredient and chicken wings will melt in your mouth like butter. I'll start by cutting 2 pounds of chicken wings into pieces. After that, I'll put everything into a pot with water then 1 cup of Coca-Cola and let it cook for 5 minutes. After that time, we'll take it out and place it in a bowl. And before I forget, tell me which city you're watching from so I can send you a big hug. Today's hug goes to Jessica Brown from Orlando, Florida. I'm so happy you're enjoying our recipes. In a pan, I'll add 2 tablespoons of butter and let it melt. When that happens, I'll add the chicken wings inside and let them fry. Then we'll season with 1 teaspoon of paprika, half a teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of salt, and stir to combine. Now in a bowl, I'll add 2 tablespoons of ketchup, 2 tablespoons of honey, 2 tablespoons of mustard, 1 grated garlic clove, 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, and mix everything really well. The juice of half a lime. Tell me, how do you make chicken wings at home? I'd love to know your recipe. I'll pour this wonderful sauce into the pan, over the chicken wings, and stir well. Finally, we'll add 1 cup of Coca-Cola, cover, and let it finish cooking. Make chicken like this at home, and then come back to tell me what you think. I'm sure you and your whole family will love it. The flavor is simply divine. You'll regret it if you don't make it. This apple pie melts in your mouth. Everyone wants the recipe. In a bowl, I'm adding 3 eggs and whisking them well. Now I'm adding 3/4 cup of sugar, half cup of melted butter, and mixing it all together. Next comes 1 cup of milk. Stir that in. Tell me how you make apple pie at home. I'd love to know your version. Then I'll add 1½ cups of wheat flour, sifted to keep it nice and light. Now let's mix all that up really well. Just look at this batter. It's already looking amazing. Now, I'll add 1 tablespoon of baking powder and mix it in. I've got 3 apples here, and I'm chopping them into small cubes. Toss the apples into the batter and mix it all together. Oh, and before I forget, tell me which city you're watching from so I can send you a special shout out. Today's goes to Rachel Evans from Charleston, South Carolina. I'm so happy you're enjoying our recipes. Now I'll pour the batter into a pan greased with butter and wheat flour, spreading it evenly. What's your favorite pie recipe? I've got to say, apple's my top pick. It's so easy and foolproof. Bake it at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 40 minutes. Once it's done and out of the oven, I'll remove it from the pan and sprinkle some sugar on top. It gives the pie a lovely finish. You can get creative and decorate it with a fancy apple slice on top. Go ahead and impress your guests.
A genius bread trick everyone should know. To start, we place 500 grams of sliced bread with no crust in a pot with hot water, filling up to halfway. Using a kitchen tool, I press the bread down well to soak up the water and make sure it softens completely. This step is key to turning the bread into a dough. After a few minutes of pressing and mixing, you'll get the perfect base, firm and easy to shape. Next, transfer to a bowl. Cover with plastic and let it rest at room temperature until it cools. Once cooled, take a small portion and shape it into a disc. And before I forget, let me know what city you're watching from so I can send you a special shout out. Today's shout out goes to Mason Clark from Tucson, Arizona. I'm so happy you're enjoying our recipes. I actually found this recipe by accident while trying to use up some ingredients at home. And it turned out so great, it became one of my favorites. With my finger, I poke a hole in the center of each disc and rest it again. I do this with the whole batch. Every time I make it, I know it'll catch attention. The dough sets up perfectly, holds its shape easily, and even though it's simple, it always looks impressive. In a pan, add oil up to halfway. Once the oil is hot, carefully place the shaped discs in to fry. Make sure they get golden on both sides. Each time I make this recipe, I realize how much the final look depends on this step. It's where the texture sets, the finish shines, and everything turns delicious. Now for the part my kids love, and I'm sure yours will too. I'm gonna melt 200 grams of white chocolate and chocolate in the microwave for 30 seconds. Then I roll them in rainbow sprinkles to taste. Next, I dip one of the discs into the melted white chocolate and then roll that delicious ring in granulated chocolate to taste. How fun is that? Make this at home and let me know how you decorated yours. I'd love to hear about it. This is the kind of school vacation recipe kids love to make while learning to cook and spending quality family time. Every time I make it, it gets the same reaction. It draws attention, delivers great results, and still surprises. It's the kind of recipe worth repeating without a second thought.